Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira. Let us sing, come let us sing, come let us sing, come let us sing, Havana Shira. Come let us sing, come let us sing, come let us sing, Havana Shira. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Come let us sing, come let us sing, come let us sing, Havana Shira. Come let us sing, come let us sing, come let us sing, Havana Shira. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing. Havana Shira, Havana Shira, Havana Shira, let us sing.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The room is full. And for those of you at home, I know that I often make that joke when we've got like 4 people in the room, but in reality, the room is full, and we've got a great group of folks who are with us virtually. I want to make one particular greeting to Mark Friedman, who is joining us from Dakar, Senegal. He was on a build-on trek, and his flight was canceled. He was supposed to be here with us in person, but he's enjoying one more night on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, right on the beach. How many of you, who is with us in Dakar? Yeah, okay. Anyway, we stayed at this really great resort hotel, and he's there. So I'm a little envious, but we're gonna be warm and welcoming anyway. I'm looking around the room, and I can't believe how many new faces we've got. We've got all kinds of guests who are here with friends or checking us out to see what Sinai feels like. So would you do me a favor and pretend that we're a nice, warm, welcoming family? Come on, just be on your best behavior. I've talked us up. Let's see if we can actually fill the hype. It's been a week. Lily was asking me before, what kind of week did I have? And like everybody now, we've got some really wonderful things going on in our personal lives, and probably some really hard things too. And then when you zoom out and you look at the world, it's harder to find the really wonderful things. It's really easy to see the hard, sad, painful, upsetting things. And so we're not going to pretend those aren't happening when we come into this space. It's a sanctuary, but it's also a place that's permeable to the world. How could we keep out the bad and then expect the good that we create in here, the holiness in here, to be able to leave and go out into the world? And so tonight we'll spend a little time acknowledging that it's been a hard week. We will name the names of those whose bodies were returned to us this week. We will think about just the desperation that's out there for people. And we'll also do our best as a Kehila Kadoshah, a sacred community, to make sacred energy to bring with us back out into the world. And so to start that process right off, we've got some candles that are underway. You know what, Fred? Don't sit down. Come on over here. I'm going to ask Fred Goldstein to light some candles for us. He walked in just in time, and let's bless with him.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam נר של Shabbat.
Find someone and wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome home.
Love that. What's going on? The doors to this place are open, and I've set the kavanah in the past that we think about something extra joining us during Shabbat. The Kabbalists talked about it as a neshima yetera, an extra soul that accompanies us through these 25 hours. That may very well be the case, but I promise you that those extra souls come in shapes that look a lot like yours. The neshimot yeterot, the extra souls that'll be a part of you for Shabbat, are sitting all around you. So when we stand in the last verse and face the door, look around and realize that we're not just looking for what might yet come, we're celebrating for what has already arrived.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המאוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי שאי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט ולקבך, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Let's be upstanding.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
And you can be settled. We had a scholar in residence with us 2 weeks ago, and his Shabbat morning service had within it only a few prayers that he spent a lot of time going deeply into with us. And after the weekend, or actually during, I requested feedback from those who'd been with us, what struck you, what stayed with you, what worked, what didn't. And there was a lot of wonderful feedback about enjoying the opportunity to spend a few extra moments on a prayer, because so often we're just moved through the prayer experience by whoever is up front, and we may have varying degrees of familiarity with what's happening in that prayer. And so I thought I would just take a few extra minutes to, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Cantor? We're going to do Shalom Aleichem, and then I'm going to repeat everything I just said. Shalom Aleichem, we're glad you're here.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelach Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And I enjoy the fact that I can point out that we are without Alex tonight, and we're with Barbara Orwick. And I wonder what it must feel like to have a piece that you write and then to watch a room full of your community enjoy using it for Shalom Aleichem. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. So let's talk for a moment about Baruch Hu. I spend a little bit of time on this with our kids in religious school because I want them to also grow up avoiding what I did, which is the sense that I kind of just went through the motions and had no sense really of what I was doing. I knew I was doing it right, but didn't know what it meant. So I try to make sure our kids leave our program with a little bit better connection to what's happening. Then they decide whether they like it and want to continue. But Baruch Hu is a moment where I try to help them see that it is the moment where we've made the transition from a warm-up into the body of the service. Everything we've done till now is warm-up. We're wrapping up what's called the Kabbalat Shabbat part of the service. And in some synagogues, they'll spend an hour on this part. And then everything else kind of gets done real quickly afterwards, another 15 minutes, and you wrap up everything else that we're about to start. Because this is an emotional ramp up into the energy of Shabbat. That's the design. L'chadodi, Shalom Aleichem, Shir Malot, L'chun Ranana, all these pieces that you're familiar with and that we select from each week, they're designed to bring us up to this spot where hopefully you're starting to feel you are. Barhu now becomes an invitation, but not in word. It's an invitation in form and in deed. I think about my little girl who just loves to play. She loves snowball fights. Snowball fights are much less fun when you're by yourself. And so, every time there's snow, Abba, can we have a snowball fight? Because she wants someone to be with her in that experience. You can sort of think of Barhu in that light. You could be home or someplace, Dakar, Senegal, all by yourself, and you could do a service. But it's more fun when you do that with other people. And there's a great Hasidic story about how the rabbi says to his students, I'm giving you the very short version, he says to his students, when I'm praying, I'm building a ladder and I'm climbing all the way up to heaven. And he says to his students, and you are the rungs of the ladder. So we are each other's rungs on the ladder that climb us higher and higher. So the Barhu is a way of saying, I plan now to enter the service, and I invite you to join me. The Shaliach Tzibor, Shlichat Tzibor in our case, is Cantor Micah. She's setting the tone, the pace for us. And in addition to modeling the words, which we repeat in variation, she also models the behavior. She bows, we watch, and then we respond following what she's doing. And I was thinking about this kavanah, or I'm going to call this a devar tefillah. Rather than a devar Torah, I'm giving you a little teaching about prayer, devar tefillah tonight. I was thinking about the motto or the slogan of the Israeli Defense Force. You've heard me mention this before. Anyone remember what it is in Hebrew? Or English for that matter? One word. Acharai. Acharai means after me. Follow me. And it's it's remarkable. In every other military, the commanders stay back and send the foot soldiers forward. In the IDF, the commanders are brothers with the foot soldiers, sisters with everyone around them. They wouldn't think to do that. So they say, I wouldn't ask you to do something I wouldn't want to do. Acharai, I'm going first, you follow me. So in the most wonderful, positive sense, think of Cantor Micah as saying with those words, Baruchu et Adonai Hamvarach, saying to you, Acharai, follow me. There are activities, things that you like to do, where you'll call someone up and say, you want to join me for fill in the blank, a walk at Mayanis, some pickleball, coffee, cards, a movie, I don't know, whatever it is, you know what it is. It's more fun to have people with you. And so, though I have just said that Cantor Micah is the Shlichat Tzibor for this moment, I'm going to see if anyone here is feeling already like they are there. They're ready. You've gotten here. You're aligned inside and out, and you are ready to invite us to come join you. You want to come up here and sing with Cantor Micah, don't worry, and sing. The rest of us are then going to follow you. You're going to say, Achreinu, after us. Who wants to come on up and be Shlichat Tzibor for Baruchu at this moment? You all know I don't believe in awkward silences. So I'm comfortable. I can wait a long time. Yeah, thanks. Glenn asks, well, what does this entail? What? That's the wrong question because the Israelites said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we'll do it. What is it? Glenn's doing what most of us say, which is, what is it? And then maybe I'll do it. All I'm suggesting is that if you're feeling like you're ready, that you come up here and stand next to Cantor Micah, and as she sings Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach, you do the same, and you bend your knees and you bow. Wonderful. Glenn, you want to give it a shot too? That's the spirit we're looking for.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to join us? Wonderful. In that case, if you're able, would you please be upstanding for Baruch Hu?
We're going to kind of face that way. Face that way. Ya Elai, ya Elai, Elai, ya Elai, 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 ya Elai, Elai, ya Elai, Elai, ya Elai, Elai, ya Elai, here we go. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
And now it's our turn.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, 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 Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai, Ya Elai, Elai.
Would you all please just put your hands over your heart as just an expression of gratitude to the three who invited us in with Cantor Micah. Thank you all. Let's continue with Ahavat Olam. Sorry, with Ma'ariv Aravim. Oh my God, what's going on here? There we go.
Baruch
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai ha-ma'ariv aravim. And let's stay on our feet for Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim. Otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu ufkumeinu nasiach b'chukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
If you're here, physically or virtually, if you're here, you are one of us. If you chose to make this a priority, then you're family. If you are among the people in the world who look around and see beauty, possibility, holiness, then you are a part of what I understand to be God. And so when I recite the Shema, Adonai Echad, I am removing the barriers between you and me, between me and everything else, and I am being wonderfully absorbed into what I understand to be the non-dual nature of God. Take a deep breath. If your eyes are open and you're comfortable, close them. Otherwise, leave them open. Do what feels right. Join us in proclaiming that the oneness that binds us is so much stronger than the divisiveness that pulls us apart.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
And you can be settled. Lily, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have any interest in doing V'ahavta for us? No? Okay. Just wanted to give you the opportunity.
I practiced with Leslie earlier today, so, okay. Yes, glasses are important. Leslie's in our adult B'nai Mitzvah class and is in the process of learning Hebrew. I would say she has learned Hebrew at this point. And we worked on V'ahavta earlier today.
It'll be about 6 months.
Luckily, that's about how much time we have till the service.
Put it this way, I've heard more Hebrew in my household now than I have.
Ready?
Ready.
Here we look over there.
Okay.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha Hayom alevarecha Vishinantam levanecha V'dibartam B'shivtecha B'veitecha U'lechtecha V'derech U'shochbecha U'kumecha U'kshartam leot al yadecha V'hayu letotafot b'neinecha U'chshavtam al mezuzot beitecha U'visharecha Leman tizkeru
Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
That was awesome.
Well done. You know that Micha Mocha is the song that we sang on the other side of the Sea of Reeds when we were finally freed from our bondage in Egypt, from our captivity. And there's a midrash, a story, that when Joseph was coming to the end of his life, sorry, I said that wrong, when Jacob had gone down into Egypt with his other sons and met Joseph there, as he approached the end of his life, he made his son promise that when the Israelites ultimately left the captivity of Egypt, that they would take his body with them, because we don't leave bodies behind. And so 230 years later, or 400 years later, depending on which version you're reading, as Moses was leading us out of our captivity, the body of Jacob, did it again, had been kept, this is where the miracle happens, had been kept at the bottom of the Nile River. And it rose, no one knew where it was, it had been lost hundreds of years earlier, but it rose to the surface so that they could take the sacredness of Jacob's body with them. We don't leave bodies behind.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefela, nora tehilot osefela. Malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayam, לפני משה ומרים, זלי, זלי, ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני
continue on with Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Vehamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim, Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, Vehamidenu Shomreinu, Lechaim, Lechaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, v'takneinu be'etzah tova milfanecha, v'hoshienu leman shemecha. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Vehamidenu shomreinu lechaim, lechaim.
Let's continue with Vishamru.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam.
You know that our format of Jewish prayer has a structure to it, but it also has space within the words to make it into what we need it to be. And so what I'm going to do tonight, like I often do but in different form, is I'm going to offer you a kavanah, meaning something to think about, an intention that you might choose to use during your silent prayer. Here's what I'm going to suggest. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Some of you know the poem that's often shared at funerals or unveilings. It's usually called We Remember Them. And there's a line and then a refrain. After each line, those gathered will say, "We remember him," or "We remember her." We're going to do something similar, but tonight's refrain is going to be the words, "I know I'm not alone." So I think you'll get the feeling of it. We're going to spend this time in quiet reflection. using that refrain. I think you'll feel when it's time for you to join in with those words. And then we'll go into some silence after we offer a version of the priestly benediction at the end of it. This, by the way, is written by one of my colleagues, Rabbi Paul Kipnis. Let's take a moment and turn inward and enjoy a few moments of guided meditation. Sit up as straight as your body allows. If you've got a book, you can close it. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Relax your hands, placing them on your lap. Or put your fingertips together and feel the balance of pressure. And now, just breathe. Take a big breath in and hold it. Let it out. Again, breathe in. Hold it. Let it out. Keep breathing. Keep listening. Brene Brown writes, "Here's the thing. The year begins anew, even in the worst of times. The leaves will turn and fall, and then they'll grow again. And sometimes we're afraid, and we can't know what choice to make to keep anyone safe. Uncertainty's a bear. All we can do is seek out sweetness everywhere we may and work to fix what brokenness we find. The good news is that we're not alone. We'll help each other hope when light seems dim, and we'll lift the sparks that darker days reveal. We will love each other fiercely. In the end, there is no greater work that we can do. We will help each other. That's what Kehillah Kadoshah, a holy community like ours, does. We remind each other of these words. Repeat after me. I know. I'm not alone. Again after me. I know I'm not alone. When the weight of the world is getting me down, I know I'm not alone. When the growing anti-Semitism frightens me to my core, I know I'm not alone. When I worry about my children going to school, I know I'm not alone. When the fate of the hostages angers or depresses me, I know I'm not alone. When the plight of their families saddens me so much, I know I'm not alone. When my worry for my parents keeps growing and growing, I know I'm not alone. When my loved ones' dark periods weigh me down, I know I'm not alone. When turmoil in our country gets my blood pressure rising, I know I'm not alone. When I'm so exhausted because there's so much to do, I know I'm not alone. When I can't seem to get everything I want to get done, I know I'm not alone. When I'm overwhelmed at the market trying to decide what's for dinner, I know I'm not alone. When I cannot seem to make the decisions I must, I know I'm not alone. When I feel bad because I binge-watched TV instead of learning to play guitar, take a class, exercise more, or do something more productive, I know I'm not alone. When I'm frustrated that so many are less fortunate than me, so even though we are in this together, I know we're not equally in this together and I need to do more to help them, I know I'm not alone. When I'm sad for our country because the fires were so devastating, I know I'm not alone. When my heart aches because I'm missing my mom or my dad or my brother or sister or my best friend, I know I'm not alone. When struggling to make time to take care of myself, I know I'm not alone. When I can't seem to do anything right, even though I try and try, I know I'm not alone. When just reaching out for help seems so overwhelming and scary, I know I'm not alone. When I just want to celebrate the blessings in my life, I know I'm not alone. And when I feel the people around me in this sanctuary, at the community that's mine, I know I'm not alone. You're not alone. We're all in this together. And also remember, not being alone doesn't mean it isn't frustrating and overwhelming and worrisome and scary. It just means that we're not alone. So feel that connection. Take strength from this community. As we cultivate compassion together, I'm going to suggest that we gently open our eyes and seeing the words that Alana Arian put to music, I'll invite you to recite the English first with me, and then the Hebrew, Ken Yehi Ratzon, completes each one of these prayers, 3 separate prayers, meaning, may this be God's will. Together we say, may we be safe, may we be free, and may we find space to just be. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
We're going to start by saying, may I be safe, may I be free. Then we'll move out away from us. May I be safe, may I be free, may I find space to just be. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May I find my way back home. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May I find my way back home. Now we're going to sing, may you be safe, may you be free. May you be safe, may you be free, may you find space to just be. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May you find your way back home. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May you find your way back home. May we be safe. May we be safe. May we be free. May we find space to just be. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May we find our way back home. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May we find our way back home. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May we find our way back home. Can you hear Ratzon? Can you hear Ratzon? May we find
if you care to use those words as your kavanah in these next moments of silence, you're welcome to.
Yehi ratzon imre fi vegion libi lefanecha Adonai. Adonai tzuri v'goli. Adonai tzuri v'goli. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, may they be acceptable, oh, to you, my God. Oh, my rock and my redeemer, Adonai, my rock, v'goli. Yehi ratzon imre fi vegion libi lefanecha Adonai. Adonai tzuri v'goli. Adonai tzuri v'goli.
It's a great story from the Baal Shem Tov about a rabbi hearing a little kid in shul on Yom Kippur sounding a whistle that distracted everyone else, upset his father, and everyone got all worked up. And the rabbi quieted everyone down and said, "I've been listening to your prayers since Kol Nidre last night, and that child's sound was the most pure prayer I've heard all day." Many of us heard Ava's little gurgle back there. I'm not saying it's more pure than your prayer, but I am saying it is her prayer. I'd like to invite you to join me in a prayer for the state of Israel. If it's comfortable for you to join us, I invite you to please rise. Together, Rock and Champion of Israel, please bless the state of Israel, first fruit of the flourishing of the fruit of our redemption. Guard it in the abundance of your love. Spread over it the shelter of your peace. Send forth your light and truth to those who lead and judge it, and to those who hold elective office. Establish in them, through your presence, wise counsel, that they might walk in the way of justice, freedom, and integrity. Strengthen the hands of those who guard our holy land. Let them inherit salvation and life, and give peace to the land and perpetual joy to its inhabitants. Appoint for a blessing all our kindred of the house of Israel in all the lands of their dispersion. Plant in their hearts a love of Zion, and for all our people everywhere, may God be with them, and may they have the opportunity to go up to the land. Cause your Spirit's influence to emanate upon all dwellers of our holy land. Remove from their midst hatred and enmity, jealousy and wickedness. Plant in their hearts love and kinship, peace and friendship, and soon fulfill the vision of your prophet. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Let them no longer learn the ways of war. And let us say, Amen. You can be settled. Many of you are familiar with the meme of the Florida man. That's something you're familiar with? Google it. Not now. Not now. Some of you saw the headlines about Jewish Florida man from yesterday. No. Well, then let me bring you in. Hatred and enmity. Yesterday, a youngish man in his 20s, I believe, a plumber, I think, a Jewish guy, saw two Arabs in a car in Florida, and he unloaded the clip of his gun on them. 17 times he shot. And as he's being arrested, he gleefully tells the officer, I just killed two Arabs. He was wrong about a lot of things. First of all, he didn't kill them. Luckily, they survived with just some relatively minor wounds, so he's a lousy shot. Thank God for that. Secondly, they weren't Arabs. They were Jews. It was a father and a son who had just gotten off the plane from Israel, here to, I don't know what they were doing, vacation, I suppose. And the son, immediately upon having kind of survived this and made it to the hospital and everything, posted online that they were just attacked in a hate crime by an Arab who just wanted to kill all Jews, death to all Arabs. The ultimate irony. 3 brothers of the same Jewish family who are convinced that the other is the other. And it's not even the fact that they're Jews. Anyone who engages in this kind of behavior makes us go, oh, God. I have a lot of problems with the Council for American Islamic Relations. It's an organization that is not easy to agree with on a lot. But they came out and said, this Jew who fired should be tried for a hate crime. I absolutely agree. The fact that he thought he was shooting at Arabs because they are Arabs means he should suffer the penalty of the stiffness of our law. And it makes me sad, really sad. It's not going to get better in the coming years. They call Florida the gunshine state. The gun laws are so permissive, and the encouragement of our leadership towards hatred and othering means that we're going to see more of this. Unlikely the details of like this one, but when we offer a Mishaberach in a moment, I'm going to be offering in my mind, in addition to several people who are close to my circles in this community, I'm going to be offering in my mind prayers for the 3 of them, having little to do with their injuries, having everything to do with the wound to their soul. All 3 of them have been scarred so badly along the way that they need a Mishaberach. Who else needs a Mishaberach, a prayer for healing? Who else is incomplete? Who else needs a little extra something, a little oomph that your prayer might provide? Who else? Oh, the Bebus family. Folks at home, please speak aloud the names of the people you're thinking about. Take a moment, say them out loud right now. I'll echo Muriel, who said, all of us. Amen.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha leimortenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavortenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
If you're able, would you be upstanding for Aleinu?
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You can be settled.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו ושמנו אחד.
We remember our people who suffered and died so that we could be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow. For their dreams left unfulfilled and lives taken too soon, we remember. We remember our brothers and sisters whose sacrifice kept the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be an inspiration and strength. For life cut short and for vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and they were in love with life. For the agony, the tears, the mothers and the fathers, for the children who were, and for the children yet to be, we remember. This Shabbat, we remember. Russ, we're still in the period of Shloshim for your father, Edwin Sidney Robbins.
And I'm sorry, it's a misspelling again that I forgot to change last week. His middle name should be spelled with an I. I apologize.
Russ, would you please rise? Valerie, if you care to rise with him. And this week, of course, oops, hold on a second. We will add the names of the 4 Israelis whose bodies were returned to us this week. I would invite you, if you care, to rise at the mention of their names. We mourn the losses of Shiri Bibas, Kfir Bibas, Ariel Bibas, and Oded Lifshitz. And this Shabbat, we mark yard sites, excuse me, for Peter Remy Boris, Maurice Bruder, Ronald Cohen, Stella Ebright, John Epstein, Arthur Frank, Leo Freed, Lillian Goldstein, William Gordon, Molly Haller, Suzanne Silver Hecht, Martin Levine, Robert Lilienthal, Kate Rabinowitz, Alexander Redness, Clara Robbins, Harold Rosenblum, Paul Schickler, Gerald Schultz, Cindy Schwartz, George Skegan, and Dr. Leonard Taylor. Are there others who are saying Kaddish tonight? Her name? Thanks, Muriel. May the memories of all of them bring light to the eyes of those who think of them. May they continue to be memories, blessings in this world as we honor them with Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divarach, Hirute, Ve'yamlich Malchute, B'chayechon, Uv'yomechon, Uv'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uv'izman Kariv, Ve'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam Ul'almei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudsha B'richu, Leila, Min Kol Birchata V'shir Ata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da Amiran Be'alma, V'imru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabba Min Shamaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May God send peace to all of us who mourn, and give us the strength to comfort the bereaved who are right next to us. As together we say,
Amen.
Amen. You can be settled. There are some things happening at Sinai these days. For those of you who are new to the family, either having already decided to join or contemplating it, I made the offer to Lily 2 weeks ago at Tot Shabbat to just come and let me get to know you better, get to know me better. It was wonderful. She came, we sat, we played with Ava. We had a great time together. I now feel like I have the beginning of a relationship with her that got jump-started because she accepted my invitation. For the rest of you, and even if you've been here a while, you can come talk to me too. I'll buy the coffee. Come see me. I don't have anything else to do. I just sit in my office all day waiting for you. So, there's that. But welcome. We're glad you're here. Tomorrow morning, we've got Bible study at 9 a.m., hybrid if you care to stay home and cozy. On Sunday, the office will be closed and there's no religious school, although there are all kinds of circles happening through the weekend, so the building will be humming anyway. For members of the Board of Trustees, we've got a board meeting on Monday night. That's at 7:30, and Michelle's thinking, yes, she doesn't have to go anymore. She'd been our recording secretary for how many years? 8 years, and now she's really glad that someone else took over. We call that other person ChatGPT. No, not yet. Next Friday. Uh-huh. No, do please. Next Friday, Cantor will lead Bible study at noon. I'm going to cross this off after the service, okay? Yeah, okay. Next Friday is the beginning of the Women's Retreat weekend. So for those of you who are not attending, we need you to come and fill the room. We'll have a great time, even in their absence. And then services next week will be 7:30. We have, what else coming up? Zentangle, Cantor's got a new series starting in a couple of weeks. Wednesdays, March 12th, 19th, and 26th. You'll see stuff about it in our emails. You can register. Are they all online? Yes. Yeah. They're at 6:30 each week. And if you don't know what it is, you owe it to yourself to check in with Cantor. By the way, I had this great conversation with a couple who's getting married soon. And they were telling me how they've just kind of settled in. They don't go to Cantor's class. But every week, I don't know what night it is, Thursday, whatever, it doesn't matter, they shut off their cell phones, they pour themselves some wine, they light some candles, and they put on the recordings of Cantor's Zentangle class. And they tangle together. It's their date night.
It takes two to tangle.
Yeah. It's such a sweet image in my mind. So if you want to know more, come ask her about it. Whatever you do, don't call it doodling. She does not care for that. Purim's coming up, all kinds of stuff. I think I'll wait to give some more announcements on that. We got a few more weeks before we fill that in. But do mark your calendar for March 14th. That weekend, we have Cantor Becky Mann, who's going to be our musician in residence. We had a scholar in residence 2 weeks ago, a musician in residence in 2 weeks, and then an artist in residence a couple weeks after that. It's going to be a great weekend. Some of the pieces, actually just one of the pieces this evening was hers, but we've been learning her music over the last couple of months, and very excited about that. And then it is also, since Purim is around the corner, it's time to think about Mishloach Manot. These are the gift bags, the physical way of saying you're part of the family and we care. So everyone at Temple Sinai gets a bag, a Mishloach Manot, right around the weekend of Purim, that Sunday. And that means that we have to fill 450 bags. By the way, Larry, how many do we mail out? Something like 30? More? 50? So we've got other members all over the world, mostly in America, but not only. And so all of them get Mishloach Manot as well. So we need you. Frankly, we need your hands, but you come with them. We need you to help. We've got a packing party to start building those bags. We're going to be doing that on Wednesday, March 5th. And if you don't know who Larry is, he's the guy in the back corner with his hand up. There it is. If you think you might be willing to come, it's a hoot. The teens come, the elders come. It's a big group, and we create an assembly line. Those of you who did the Dignity Grows packing this evening, you kind of get the sense, right? I mean, when you put all those people together, it's amazing how fast you can put together 450 bags. So I do hope that you'll help with that. And then we still need drivers. So on the day of March 9th, 400 or so of those bags need to get delivered. And so Larry and Shelley break up the routes using some AI software, and if you're willing to help us, they'll give you a little packet of paper with all the turns and directions to deliver 5 or 6 bags, and it is so much fun to just walk up to someone's house and not ask them for money for the synagogue, and to just say, hey, you're Sinai, I'm Sinai, happy Purim, and to give them a bag. It's really great. Every volunteer that does it comes away, well, there was one once, we won't talk about him. Every other volunteer comes away saying, I loved that. So if you could help us on the 9th, please talk to Larry about it. We could really use your help. Anything I forgot? For those of you who volunteered before the service tonight, packing for Dignity Grows and the Soup Kitchen, thank you. As I left the room down there, I said to them, I could not be more proud. And I just was bursting like a proud papa. Like, look at my family, look at what they're doing. I was so proud of you. All right. With that, let's close our service. We're going to finish up with Adon Olam.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem kol
Yitzir Nivra,
Leit
Nasa,
B'chefso kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei kichlot hakol, Levado yimloch nora Adon Olam, Ve'hu haya, Ve'hu hoveh, Ve'hu yeh betifara Adon Olam, Ve'hu echad ve'en sheni, Lehamshilo lehachbira Adon Olam, Beli reshit, beli tachlit, Ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Leit Nasa,
V'chefso
kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzor Chavli Be'et Sara Adon Olam, Ve'hu Nisi, Humanos Li, Menat Kosi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Beyado Afkid Ruchi, Beit Ishan Ve'ayira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi Geviati, Adonai li Ve'lo ira Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. May you be blessed with Shabbat peace, and may you be a blessing of Shabbat peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for